His counsel, Mr. Shapiro, Mr. Cochran, Mr. Douglas, Mr. Bailey. People are represented by Ms. Clark and Mr. Darden. The jury is not present. Counsel, is there anything we need to take up before we invite the jurors to rejoin us?
Yes, Your Honor, very briefly, we are quite concerned about some of the things that are being said at sidebar that are gratuitous in nature. And yesterday there were statements that were made that were quite derogatory of Jason Simpson and implied that he was involved in planting potential evidence. Since those sidebar conferences are public record and released, it not only causes a great deal of anxiety to Mr. Simpson, it causes us great concern because in the unfortunate event that this jury cannot reach a verdict, it's going to be much more difficult in the future to try to pick a fair and impartial jury if they are being poisoned by these types of gratuitous comments. And I wanted the record to reflect that we strenuously object to those. One moment, please. And in this case, the statement was directly in contradiction to the facts in this case that have been filed by a judge under seal.
All right, any other comment? All right, let's have the jurors.
Your Honor, can I ask one moment? I have to look at an SVP by the defense. Let me indicate, I've indicated to Mr. Shapiro already that we have a very short segment of videotape that I wanted to be able to show to this witness on the witness stand, and I want to make sure that it is the date that I think. Pardon?
All right.
Yeah, that's something I can lay a foundation for. Perhaps what I should do right now is show it to counsel so that we don't have to take a break in the proceedings at the time.
All right. What is this video of?
It's a Rocky Man Road.
Did they see us? Okay, we're 30 seconds away, 30 seconds away. Look at me, Kato. You leave that open for? Okay, we're 15 seconds away, 10 seconds away. It's not on our side, I don't know what's there. Okay, we're gonna do it. Stay on them, not on them. Opening man. What's he say, sir?
All right, Ms. Clark, we've had the opportunity to see the video.
It's just a little bit more than that. That's it.
That's it? Mr. Shapiro, any comment?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd like an offer of proof as to the relevance.
Ms. Clark?
It will be presented with Kato, but first, before I do that, what I need to inquire of the defense is from what station this tape came and the copy of the SDT that produced it.
Do we know?
I don't think we know at this point. We'd have to try to look it up. See, when she wanted, we'd have to look and see.
Today.
We don't know.
How could they not know?
Well, counsel, out of curiosity, what's the relevance of that clip?
Well, the person that is with Mr. Kaelin is Ron Shipp.
Correct?
Ron Shipp has testified to his presence at the house on June the 13th, if the court will recall. We believe this tape was made on June the 13th. It will demonstrate, it will corroborate Ron Shipp's testimony, and then, of course, the clip of the dog.
We'll stipulate Mr. Shipp was there on the 13th. That's not an issue in this
The
case.
people are allowed to prove their case in their
And
own
Ms.
way.
Clark, what is the relevance of the Akita dog?
Well, if one recalls the testimony of Rosa Lopez, a dog that was barking furiously the night before is being very docile and petted by complete and total strangers.
Your Honor, I've had dogs all my life, and sometimes they bark, sometimes they don't bark. And because they were around a friendly peace officer, doesn't
Oh, all of a sudden, it's a friendly police officer. I love it. Wait, can I get this admitted?
The problem is the foundation.
We have one counsel per side, Mr. Cochran.
On this one, yes. She asked a question with regard to the foundation of the SDT.
Your Honor, objection. What-
I noted it. All right. I assume the answer is, since they weren't prepared, they don't, as to this particular snippet of videotape, they can't tell you who the cinematographer was or the videographer, whatever it is we call them these days. However, if it's in sequence, I did see Detective Lang carrying his clipboard and what appeared to be the pair of Reebok shoes.
That he's already
But the
testified.
problem is we don't know if that's in sequence, because there appears to me to be a cut in between.
Right, there does. Perhaps I could do it this way, Your Honor. We know that there will be a foundation forthcoming because someone obviously videotaped it and the defense got the tape from that person. And as soon as the defense tells me who it is, I can call the person and lay
All
the
right, well,
foundation.
Let me cut to the chase. Mr. Shapiro, is there any objection to this
Yes, Your Honor.
on foundational grounds?
If I can ask the court to allow me to have the witness identify himself and Ron Shipp and the dog, subject to a motion to strike, I will not elicit testimony from this witness as to when the videotape, when those events transpired, and I'll call the person who shot the tape to testify to that.
All right, any response to that proposal, Mr. Shapiro?
There'll be an objection.
All right.
Same grounds.
Okay. I'll allow it subject to a motion to strike.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's have the jurors, please. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Kaelin, would you resume the witness stand, please? All right, why don't you pull the microphone close to you, please? All right, good morning, Mr. Kaelin. You're reminded you were still under oath, sir.
Yes.
Ms. Clark, you may resume with your direct examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Oh, Mr. Kaelin, yesterday you were explaining to us the layout of the house. if you
Yes.
recall. I'd like to go back to that for just a brief moment.
Is this? Is that?
Mrs. Robertson, is the water fresh? Water's fresh.
Johnnie has marked as People 66.
Would you like Mr. Kaelin to step down?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. All right, let me ask you a couple questions. Are there any doors that lead out onto the south pathway from the main house or garage area?
South pathway? This
Yes.
pathway?
Yes.
Yes.
And can you tell us which ones they are?
There's a laundry room. I guess that would be right here.
For the record, the witness is indicating the yellow arrow that's been placed by, there's a V indentation in the main house. Okay?
And there's one in the garage.
Okay. Do you know where on that south wall of the garage it is?
It's the opening here, so it would be around here, I think.
Okay, be farther to the left of the yellow arrow that's been placed on the board right now?
Yes.
Okay.
If that's where the car would have been, right here.
Mm-hmm.
The,
Okay. You think it'd be farther to the left of that? Can you show us approximately where you think it would be?
I think it would be right about here.
Okay, and for the record, the witness has pointed to the area where there's an indentation in the garage, to the left of the yellow arrow placed by the garage.
Appears to be 3 to 4 inches
And
to the
perhaps-
left.
May I suggest we mark that?
Right. Do you have my stickers?
I think that they went back to you.
I have dots now. All right. Perhaps we should either label those stickers with either the witness's initials and/or 1, 2, or 3.
Why don't you put it on the Mr. Kaelin where he says it on. Thank you. And for the record, the witness, I'm going to put the witness's initials on that arrow. VK. All right, you can resume your seat. With respect to the door that you indicated was the laundry room, okay, that door that leads out onto the south pathway from the laundry room of the main house, sir, that is indicated by the arrow that is unmarked on the V part of the main house here. All right. With respect to that particular door, sir, first of all, did you ever use the laundry room when you were living in the house?
Yes.
And did you ever see anyone go in or out of that door?
Not really used.
And do you recall whether it was kept locked with a deadbolt or some other means?
I'm not sure.
But you never saw it used?
I never used it. I never really saw it used now.
With respect to the garage door, photographs, I'd asked, I'm going to show them to counsel.
Ms. Clark? Ms. Clark, are you going to use 66 any longer?
No.
All right, let's have it taken down, please.
I have a photograph bearing the numbers in the lower right-hand corner, 000095, has to be marked Peoples 130. And 000096 in the lower right-hand corner, the next photograph, Peoples 131. Fine. Mr. Kaelin, were you ever inside the garage of the location 360 North Rockingham?
Yes.
Can you tell us, please, sir, to the best of your recollection at this time, what you recall seeing inside that garage?
If you enter from the laundry room door, you'd walk into a weight set, workout center, right in the front. Mirrors. A car would be parked against the garage door, opening.
What kind of car?
Testarossa,
What color?
red.
Was it kept covered or uncovered?
Usually covered.
Okay.
And there was shelves with, I don't know what was in, buckets, paint maybe.
A lot of
And
stuff in there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you recall my asking you if there was a garage door that led out to the south pathway in your memory when we were discussing this case in my
Yes.
office?
Yes.
Did you remember that there was a garage door initially?
No.
And why is that?
I didn't see it.
Ever use it?
No.
Ever see anyone use it?
No.
People's 130. I'm going to ask you to look at your monitor.
Yes.
Did the items in the garage ever vary from time to time?
You mean storage things or?
Yes.
I wouldn't know. It'd be, there could be stuff in there, yes.
Did you go to the garage often?
No.
How many times would you say you were in the garage during the period of time you were, excuse me, that you were living there?
16?
16 times? And you lived there for how long?
6 months?
If you were shown a photograph, do you think you'd be able to tell what date that photograph was taken?
No.
Thank you. Nothing further.
All right, Ms. Clark? Proceed.
Do you know what the contents of the garage were or what the garage looked like inside as of June the 12th, 1994?
Of some things, yes.
Okay. If I show you a photograph of the interior of that garage, will you be able to tell us whether it fits your memory of the appearance of that location?
Yes.
Counselor, I think, excuse me, I think the objection is he needs to look at the photograph and tell us if that matches his recollection before it's shown to the jury. And for the record, that's People's 130.
Yes, Your Honor, sorry.
That's the garage inside.
And is that the way you recall seeing it, sir?
Yes.
That fits your memory of it?
Yes.
No. Proceed.
One, please.
All right, you're looking at 130 right now, Mr. Kaelin?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us, what are you looking at? What location is that?
That's the, coming from the shot was taken probably from the laundry room door, and it's the garage.
And so you're looking from the interior of the house into the garage?
Yes.
And is that the appearance of the garage as you last remember seeing it?
Yes.
Okay, directing your attention, sir, I'm going to use a laser. Can you look up at the screen for a moment? Okay, you see this little red dot?
Yes.
All right. First of all, what am I pointing to here?
It's the weights, the workout center.
All right. And behind that, those weights, what do you see that I'm circling?
Car, the Testarossa.
Okay. And is it covered here?
Yes, it is.
All right. And is that the cover you recall seeing on it?
Yes.
Was it usually kept covered in that manner?
Yes.
Okay. And over here, sir? What's on the wall over here?
I can't tell from the shot, but I think that's the mirrors.
Okay.
Dark on the side.
All right. Now I'm moving the red dot to an area right here. You see this big cardboard box?
Yes.
And was that, do you recall that being in the garage as well?
It probably was, but I can't recall. I mean, there was storage things. So it probably, yes. It was.
All right. And I'm directing your attention now to an area just above that box. Can you see what that is, sir?
That's the door.
Let me show you another view. Equals 131. And what are we looking at here, sir?
That's just a different angle of the garage again. Same.
With the car
Right.
and then the weights. All
The
right.
shot's taken like where the mirrors would be.
Okay. And then the door would be on the left-hand side of the photograph that you can't see, right?
Correct.
All right, I'm going to show you the next series of 3 photographs. First one with the number in the lower right-hand corner of 88, People's 132.
Your Honor, would be a transfer to these based on foundation.
Same location. I'll show the witness the pictures first.
Please.
If I could mark them, though, so I can refer to them.
All right, 132, 133, and 134.
Correct, thank you. And that'd be 133 has got the number 89 in the lower right-hand corner. 134 has the number 90 in the right-hand corner. Mr. Kaelin, can you tell us if you recognize what's shown in these photographs?
The garage.
Okay. And do you recognize the items shown in this photograph?
Items that are stored in the garage.
Okay. And had you seen them there before when you were living there?
Yes.
Do you recognize the car shown in these photographs?
Yes.
Is that the same as the car shown in the previous photographs you've identified?
Yes.
Is there a cover on the car in these photographs?
No.
There are bicycles shown in these photographs. Do you recall seeing bicycles in that position in the garage when you lived there?
Yeah, there'd be bikes. They could be on the other side, that side, but yeah, just like that.
Okay. And the big cardboard box with the television on top of the chest that you see there,
Yes.
does that appear to be the same cardboard box, chest, and television that you see, that you saw in the previous photographs?
Yes.
And does this fit your memory of the appearance of the interior of the garage when you were living at 360 North Rockingham?
Yes.
I'm going to show you People's 132, if you please look at your monitor. Directing your attention now, sir, to the television set and the chest and the large cardboard box. As you look above those items, can you see what is above the television set here? And if you could look at the screen where I'm gesturing with the laser light, if you can see it.
That's the door.
133, please. Showing you People's 133. I'm gesturing with the laser light. What's that, sir?
That's the door.
134, please. And once again, if you could look at the screen, I'm sorry.
The door again.
All right. And you see here the chest and the television set and the cardboard box
Yes.
shown in the previous 4 photographs.
Yes.
And do these views of the garage comport with your memory of its appearance when you were living there?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Kaelin, directing your attention back to the date of June the 12th, 1994. On that date, I think you indicated that Paula Barbieri had called. This was in the afternoon of June.
Objection, Your Honor, misstates the evidence.
Sustained.
Can you tell us, sir, whether Paula Barbieri called the defendant on the date of June the 12th, 1994?
Objection, asked.
Oral. You can answer the question.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, yes.
And after that phone call, sir, did you have a conversation with the defendant about Paula?
Yes.
And what did he tell you about Paula?
Objection, hearsay.
Oral.
Answer.
You can answer.
Part of the conversation was about the recital.
Okay. And what did he tell you about that?
Objection.
Grounds.
Hearsay irrelevant.
Oral. You can answer the question.
From what I remember, that she wanted to go, and I believe OJ didn't want her to go, kind of on his own.
So he didn't want her to go to the recital with him.
At that time, yes.
Did he tell you what his feelings were about Paula?
Objection, irrelevant.
Oral.
Answer. That I wasn't sure as far as just the one, maybe not the one.
I'm sorry?
To spend, to be the one to be with, like for life.
Okay. He wasn't sure if she was the one for him?
Objection,
Was-
misstates the answer.
Sustained. Rephrase the question.
Okay. Can you please tell us, what did the defendant say to you about his feelings about Paula?
Not being sure if Paula was going to be the one to be with.
Did he tell you he was undecided about her?
Objection, leading.
Sustained.
Did he tell you whether or not he had made a decision about whether he wanted to be with her or not?
Not a decision. It was undecided.
Now, did you have another phone conversation with a woman after that point on the afternoon of June the 12th?
Yes.
And who was that?
Tracy, Adele,
And whose friend was that?
my friend.
Did you speak to Tracy?
Briefly.
And then what did you do after you briefly spoke to Tracy?
I handed the phone back to OJ.
And then did he speak to her?
Yes.
Did he make a date with her?
Objection, also speculation.
Did you hear what he said to her?
I didn't hear all the words. No, I tried not to listen.
Did you hear him set up a date to meet her later?
Objection, leading and suggestive.
Sustained.
Did you hear him say, what did you hear him tell her?
Well, I know it was long distance. She was calling from another state.
What did you hear him say about making any plans to get together with her, if any?
I'm not sure of that. I know they talked, and she was interested in business, like being an entrepreneur. And that was like they're talking business, so they could have talked about getting together, but I'm not positive.
All right, now at some point, did you leave the house that afternoon?
Yes, I did.
What time did you leave the house?
I probably left about 3:30 or 4 to play
To do-
basketball.
To play basketball?
Yes, I did.
And what time did you get back?
Got back at about 6 o'clock.
And when you got back, what did you do?
I talked to OJ
Where were you when you talked to him?
in the kitchen nook.
And what time was it then?
This is about 6:37.
And had you been watching a game or something?
Yes.
What game was that?
I was watching that in my room. It was the Houston and the Knicks. That was a playoff game.
So you spoke to him after the game ended, did you?
Yes.
And how was it that you came to speak to him after the game ended?
I think I heard him shout, Kato.
And when he did that, what did you do?
Hey, talk. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you leave your room?
Yes.
Were you in your room when you heard him call Kato?
Yeah, or I was like on the kind of the patio area. But I was in my room. I could have just gotten out for a bit and heard the name.
So did you go into the house when he called you?
Yes.
Did you talk to him?
Yes.
And what did you talk about?
About the game, about who won the game, the recital, how Sydney was at the recital.
And what did he say to you about Sydney at the recital?
He said Sydney was great at the recital.
And Sydney
Was
is
great.
his daughter, correct?
Sydney's his daughter
Okay.
was at dance recital.
What else did he tell you?
She was great. That Nicole was there,
And
and friends.
that Nicole was there with some friends?
Friends.
What did he tell you about Nicole?
Sustained. Rephrase the question.
What, if anything, did he tell you about Nicole?
Well, he wanted to talk with Sydney, and I don't think it was the wording, but Nicole wasn't going to give him time to talk to Sydney, and he wanted to talk to his daughter, and I think they went off somewhere.
Who went off somewhere?
Nicole and the kids.
So what did that have to do with Nicole? I'm not clear on
Oh,
that.
they all.
Sustained. Rephrase the question. Calling for speculation on the part of this witness.
Okay, I'm
With the court reporter.
All right, Mr. Kaelin, when you get that question back. What did the defendant tell you about Nicole at the recital? What did he tell you about what transpired with Nicole and Sydney at the recital?
Okay, about taking her within, about what she was wearing.
What did the defendant tell you transpired, if anything, with regard to himself, Nicole, and Sydney?
Okay. That OJ wanted to spend time with Sydney, and that Nicole wasn't going to give him the time to have with his daughter, talk to her at the recital, so they went off.
Did he tell you whether he did get to spend some time with Sydney anyway?
Short time.
What, if anything, did he tell you about Nicole herself at the recital?
About her, what outfit that she had on.
And what did he say about that?
That they were wearing, and who she was with, that they were wearing tight outfits, and wondered if they could be grandmas and wear those outfits out.
Did he remark
Wait.
that she was wearing a tight dress that night?
Objection, leave him suggested.
Sustained.
What remark did he make about, what, if any, remark did he make about what she was wearing that night?
That it was a tight outfit.
Did you have some further conversation with him?
Yes.
And what was that?
I was wondering if I could take a jacuzzi.
Okay, and did he give you permission to do that?
Yes.
Did he talk at all about what he was going to be doing that evening?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
That he was going to take a flight out. He had to pack for a trip to Chicago.
And did he seem pleased about that?
No. That he didn't like red eyes.
Did he give you permission to take the jacuzzi when you asked for it?
Yes.
So what did you do?
I took a jacuzzi.
About what time was that?
About 7:30, I'm guessing. 7:30, 7:45, I took a jacuzzi.
What time did you finish taking the jacuzzi?
About 8:30,
Okay. When you got done with your jacuzzi, what did you do?
I went to my room.
And what did you do there?
I got on the phone.
Who'd you call?
A friend named Susan.
And while you were on the phone, were you interrupted by anything?
I don't know if it was on during it, but yes, OJ came to the room.
And did you have a conversation with him?
Yes.
What was the nature of that conversation?
That I forgot to turn off the jacuzzi.
He brought that to your attention?
Yes.
What did he say about that?
You forgot to turn off the jacuzzi.
And what did you do?
I was gonna, I'll turn it off, but he said he turned it off already, the jets of the jacuzzi.
And when you had that conversation with him, were you still in your room or did you exit your room?
Kind of the doorway, there's a door. I was in the room still. He was on the, out of the door, the outside.
What happened next?
I went back and I made another call.
And who was it that you called at that time?
Another friend, Tom,
And where was he living at that time?
San Diego.
Do you remember exactly what time you called him?
Not the exact time, but around like 9 o'clock.
Okay. Do you remember, do you know by heart his phone number?
Yes. You guys are good.
I have here before this Utility Council. I just made sure of that and asked it to be marked Peoples 135. If you would step down, Mr. Kaelin.
All right, People's 135.
You can see the, what does this appear to be, sir?
My phone bill.
And can you tell us, there is a portion here highlighted indicating June the 12th. This is military time, 21:03, which is 9:03 p.m. There's San Diego, California, area code 619, and the phone number that follows. Do you recognize that phone number?
Yes, that's Tom's number.
Indicates that the call was for 8 minutes. Okay, 9:03, does that comport with your memory and help to refresh your memory exactly what time that call was placed?
Yes.
And up here, does that indicate what your phone number was as of June the 12th, 1994?
Yes, it was.
You can have a seat, sir.
All right, you want to show the 1492?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. All right, so you spoke to Tom O'Brien,
Yes.
and as the record indicated, it was about a 7-minute call. After you hung up with Tom O'Brien, what happened next?
I saw OJ again.
Now, were you still on the phone at that time, or had you hung up?
No, I was still on the phone.
So the defendant came out to see you, and you were still talking to Tom?
Yeah, I was talking to Tom, and I hung up during the talking to OJ. I said, "Hey, Tom, I'll call you back."
Okay. And what happened at that point? Did you have a conversation with the defendant?
Yes.
Tell us what the nature of that conversation was.
It was to get some. He had $100 bills, and he needed like a 5 for the sky cap, and he asked me if I had some cash.
So after he told you he only had $100 bills and he needed a $5 bill for the sky cap, what did you do?
I gave him 20.
You gave him a 20, was it a $20 bill?
Yes.
And when you gave him the $20 bill, did you put it in his hand?
Yes.
Could you see both his hands?
One hand for sure, but I could see both hands. Yeah.
Did you notice him bleeding or cut on either hand?
No.
And what happened next?
I gave him the money, and he said he was going to get hamburger, and I said, "Can I go?"
You invited yourself to go with him?
Yes.
And what was his response to that?
Sure.
You seem real excited to have you come?
Sustained.
Wouldn't you?
Sustained. Ms. Clark.
Thank you, Your Honor. So did you go with him, sir?
Yes, I did.
What was he wearing at that time?
At the best of my recollection, I thought it was a sweat outfit.
Okay, what color was it?
Dark color.
Could you tell?
It was either blue or dark blue or black.
And the material, what kind of material was it?
I thought it was like a cotton.
Was it long sleeves, sir?
Yes.
Do you remember what kind of shoes he was wearing?
No.
Sorry. All right, when you left, where did you walk through, sir?
We walked from the sidewalk in the back to the back door, past the bar, to the kitchen nook, to the outside.
What car did you get into?
The Rolls Royce.
And where the Rolls Royce, when you got into it, sir, can you tell us where it was parked?
In the driveway.
And where was it facing? What direction, if you can tell us?
The headlights would be facing the Rockingham gate.
I have a photograph that has been shown to council. People's, as it now be marked People's 136.
136.
Showing you what's been marked as People's 136, sir. Can you tell us if you recognize the car in the foreground of that photograph?
Yes.
And what is it?
That's the Rolls Royce.
Look at the grill.
I'm sorry?
Never mind.
He said, "Look at the grill." He said.
Look at the grill. It's a Bentley. Could it be a Bentley, sir?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Is that the position in which it was usually parked in the driveway?
Yes.
And the gate that you said it was facing, in that position, what gate would it be facing in this photograph?
The picture's taken from the Rockingham gate.
And was that the position in which it was parked when you got into it with Mr. Simpson on the date of June the 12th?
Yes.
Who drove the car?
OJ.
And approximately what time was it when you left with him to go get something to eat?
Approximately 9:10.
About 10 minutes after 9, was that?
Yes.
What gate did you exit through?
Rockingham gate.
As the defendant drove, sir, were you able to see his hands?
Yes.
See any injury to them?
No.
Any bleeding from either hand?
No.
As you exited the Rockingham gate, did you look to see whether there were any other cars parked on the curb?
No, I didn't look.
All right, while you were in the car on the way to McDonald's, did you have some conversation with the defendant?
Yes.
What was the nature of that conversation?
There was some conversation about the flight
The red-eye flight?
What an airline. Tired. At one point, I had said, "Oh, you should take a nap." And if there was going to be time, he didn't think there'd be time. And I said, "Well, you should try to take one. You look tired."
Wait, what did you say?
I said, "You should take a nap." I
And
said,
what-
"Do you have time to take a nap?"
And what did the defendant say?
That he probably wouldn't have time to.
He probably would not have time to?
And then I said, "You should try to."
Okay. And did he make any response to that?
No, no response.
Did you have any conversation that caused you to notice the clock in the car?
Yes,
And what was the nature of that conversation?
that was what directed me to the time, about taking time for a nap.
Okay, so when he
And that
indicated,
was at,
excuse me, sir.
oh, at 26 in San Vicente.
That was when you had gotten to 26 in San Vicente?
Yes.
So when the defendant said he didn't think he had time to take a nap, you looked at the clock?
Yes, and there was a stoplight. I remember a stoplight.
And what time was it when you were at 26 in San Vicente?
I thought it was like 9:15, 9:18 on the clock of the car. 9:15 and 9:18. It looked like it was right past the...
Okay. Was this a digital clock?
No, it was a numbered clock. Well, I mean, numerals. Like digit would be that too, but you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Analog.
Analog. And so you looked at the clock, you saw it was 9:15 to 9:18, and how long after that did you get, was it before you got to McDonald's?
I think 6 minutes or so.
So you got to McDonald's at approximately what time?
9, like 9:22.
And did you go into the McDonald's, or did you do drive-through?
Drive-through.
And that McDonald's is located where?
I'm pretty sure it's on Santa Monica, across from a Carl's Jr. I remember.
That's Santa Monica Boulevard?
Yes.
Now, you went to, when you drove up to the drive-through window, who paid for the food?
I paid, but OJ gave him the money.
So, now you had already given him $20, is that right?
Yes.
So you pulled out another 20 to pay for the food?
Yes.
Did he ask you to do that?
No.
You just did it?
Yes.
All right. When he paid for the food, after paying for it, did he then give you any change back?
Yes.
Did you notice his hands as he paid for the food and gave you your change?
Yes.
Did you see any injury to either hand?
No.
Approximately what time was it when you got your food?
9:25, 9:26.
All right. Now, as the defendant drove home, what was he doing?
Eating the food.
So he ate and drove at the same time?
Yeah, but he finished pretty fast. I mean, it wasn't... Yeah, he ate and drove.
And did you eat at the same time while you were in the car?
No. A few French fries.
So as he ate with one hand, he drove with the other, is that right?
Yes.
Were you able to see his hands?
Yes.
You see any injury to either hand?
No.
About what time was it when you got home?
It's about 9:40.
Do you recall whether you entered the property at 360 Rockingham through the Rockingham or Ashford Gate?
I'm pretty sure it was Ashford Gate.
When he parked the car, can you tell us, sir, in what position he parked the car when you returned?
Same as the picture.
And when you say the picture, you mean People's 136 on the screen now?
Yes.
Do you remember how the gate on Ashford opened when you went inside?
I don't, but it just opened. I wasn't aware. It just wasn't something I looked for.
Did you look to see whether there were any cars parked on the at the curb of the Ashford Gate?
I did look.
Can you tell us, sir, whether the defendant owned any other car besides the Bentley and the Testarossa you'd identified in earlier photographs.
Yes.
And what was that?
A Ford Bronco,
Color?
white.
Can you tell us where he normally parked it?
Usually on Ashford,
By the gate?
on the street.
I
Yeah.
mean, near the gate, on the
Yeah,
street?
near the gate.
When you first moved into the property in January of 1994, do you recall seeing it parked in that location from the first time you moved in?
Sustained.
When do you first recall seeing the white Ford Bronco parked near the Ashford gate on the street?
Usually on Ashford.
Yeah.
Yes.
When was the first time you noticed that?
The exact date, I don't know, probably January.
And
It was there.
January of 94?
Of 94.
And is that when you moved into Rockingham?
Yes.
People's 137.
Look at your monitor, sir. Mr. Kaelin, you can look at
Yes.
your monitor.
Oh.
You see the car that's shown in People's 137?
Yes.
Do you recognize that car?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's the OJ's Ford white Bronco.
The one that you were discussing earlier?
Yes.
Who drove that car, sir?
OJ and sometimes Gigi to the store.
Anybody else?
No. That I knew of, no.
How often did Gigi ever drive it?
Sometimes she would take it to the store. If she needed to do an errand, she could take it.
Otherwise, it was the defendant?
Yes. OJ's.
All right, when you got back to Rockingham, defendant parked the car in the location you indicated on People's 136. Can you tell us, sir, what happened next?
After the McDonald's,
Yes.
I got out of the car, and I had my food, and I walked towards the kitchen, and I thought I was kind of inviting myself, so I turned and I went to my room.
Okay. So you were carrying your food, sir?
Yes.
And you say you walked toward the kitchen. Were you inside the house already?
No.
You walked towards that door?
Towards the door.
And were you intending to go inside the house?
I was thinking about, I was going to do it, and I didn't do it. Yeah, because I thought I should eat in my room. I was going to go into the kitchen area, but I thought I'm just kind of inviting myself. I should probably go to my room.
Okay, so you thought you were going to have your dinner with the defendant inside the house?
Well, yes.
Okay. And when you got to the exterior part of the house in front of the kitchen, you stopped at that point?
Yes.
Your Honor, a photograph asked to be marked People's 138 has been shown to counsel. Do you see the location you're talking about when you said you walked toward the kitchen area?
Yes.
I'm going to use my the laser light. Ask that you direct it. If you can see the screen, sir. See the light?
Yes, I do.
Okay, tell it where to go.
Okay, go to the right. To the right more. Up. And go about 2 inches to the right. And that's the door.
All right, that location right there?
Yes.
Can we mark that with the telestrator? Okay, I'm going to ask that area be marked with the telestrator. Make sure it's correct. Is that
That's
right?
correct. Yes, that's the door.
Thank you. Yes, it is to be marked People's 138A.
138A.
Thank you, Your Honor. When you got to that location, what did you do?
When I got to the door,
Yes.
I turned.
Okay, and what did you
Good.
see?
OJ
And where was he?
at the driver's side door of the Rolls.
Did you say anything to him?
No.
What did you do?
I looked and said, "Oh, I'll eat in my room."
And what did you do then?
I took off to my room to eat.
Did he
through the
make
path. Through the path to my room.
Did he make any response to you when you said, "I'll eat in my room"?
Oh, no, that was in my mind. I'll eat in my room.
You didn't say that out
No,
loud?
no, in my head I was going, I'll eat in my room.
Okay.
Sorry.
Did he say anything to you?
No,
Did you say anything to him?
no.
So after the car was parked and you got out and walked to the kitchen door, did you have any conversation with Mr. Simpson?
No,
And he said nothing to you?
no.
Okay, when you say you walked through that path, you're talking about the path, describe for us the path you're talking about.
Part of it's on the picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's the driveway. You can see where the path goes, and it comes around by the hedges here. That you can barely see it in the shot, but that's the path.
People's Next number 139, Your Honor, photograph and show you counsel. Can you see the beginning of the path in this photograph, sir?
Yes.
Can you indicate to us where it is?
Yeah, right where the right angle is, right there's the path.
I'm going to ask that it be marked with a telestrator.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes, that's the path.
People's 139A?
139A.
Thank you. You print. What happened next?
Okay, so I took the food and I walked on the path to my room. And I started eating the food and I made a phone call.
Now, did you make that phone call immediately when you got back to your room, or did you do a couple things first? Do you remember?
Pretty much right away I did. I made it, within a minute, I think. It was pretty quick. Pretty
All right.
sure.
So after you walked back to your room, you entered within a minute, you made a phone call?
Yeah.
Who did you call?
I called Tom again.
The same Tom that you called earlier before you left for McDonald's?
Right, because I told him I'd call him back, and I called him back.
And do you recall exactly what time it was that you called him?
It was about after we got back, 9:40, 9:45.
And would it refresh your recollection as to the exact time that you called him? You saw your phone bill.
Yes.
Kaelin, if you could, I'm going to show you first
Okay. Okay.
that second entry.
Yes.
All right. Let's look at that for a minute. Okay, you already described the first entry on June the 12th here at 9:03, that first call you made to Tom in San Diego. You see below that on June the 12th at 9:37, indicated in military time as 21:37. Be 9:37 p.m., a call to San Diego, area code 619.
Yes.
And again, does that appear to be the same phone number that you called some minutes earlier that night?
Yes.
And that call lasted for approximately, this second call lasted for approximately 7 minutes? Does that comport with your memory of the time and the duration of the call you made to Tom?
Yes.
Now, that call that you made at 9:37, how long was that made after you saw the defendant standing at his car?
Pretty quickly, because I was eating my food, I think, on the phone, so right after. Right after within a minute or two.
A minute to 2 minutes? Say yes?
Yes, yes.
All All right, for the record, the witness and counsel were referring to the board People's 135.
Thank you, Your Honor. Perhaps now if I could let the jury see it. Thanks, Dana. After you completed that phone call to Tom, approximately 9:44 then, what happened next?
I wanted to type up some like resumes, and there's an office area with a typewriter.
That office area that you described was a part of the area you lived in?
Yes.
And what did you do in that regard?
Well, there's a typewriter, and I got the paper, and I plugged it in, and it made a noise, but it wasn't working, so I tried other outlets, and then it wasn't making a noise anymore, and I tried outlet after outlet, and I kind of gave up.
Okay, and how long period of time did you do that?
So, like, after finding everything, about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. So, can you tell us approximately what time it was when you gave up on the typewriter?
Like about 10 or so.
And what did you do then?
I made a phone call.
And what phone call, who'd you call?
Another friend, Rachel.
Rachel what?
Rachel Ferreira.
What time was it approximately when you placed that call, sir?
About like 10:10.
Now, at the time you made that call to Rachel Ferrara, can you tell us, was the lights on in your bedroom?
In my bedroom?
Yes.
Yes.
There is a, you indicated there's a bathroom that's attached as part of your living quarters, right?
Yes.
I'm going to show you a photograph that's been previously marked as People's 129B.
Two, please.
Do you see the area that you earlier indicated was the bathroom?
Yes, I do.
Does that area have a window?
Yes, it does.
And where does that window face?
South.
South?
It would face the back area to the neighbors.
And when you say south, is there a pathway that runs alongside that wall?
Yes.
And that south pathway, is that the border or the end of the property?
Yes.
To the south of that walkway, is there any kind of fence?
Yes.
And what kind of fence?
I'm pretty sure it's iron fence.
I'm going to show you a photograph that's been previously marked as 68A. Okay, do you recognize the location shown there?
Yes.
Tell us what it is.
Okay, that would be the back of my room, and that's the neighbor's yard on the right of the fence, and that's the pathway, the walkway.
You see something jutting out over the walkway, sir? That jutting out of the wall?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
That's an air conditioner
And where does the front of that air conditioner go?
in my room.
Now, when you say that's the wall of the outside wall of your room, I'm going to ask that. I'm going to ask you to direct the arrow to point to what wall you're talking about.
Okay, it's real dark from where I'm sitting. I can't, but it looks like the pathway's there. I can tell that's the arrow's on the wall. Okay, keep.
Tell the arrow. Tell the arrow
To go where? To the air conditioner, or just
to go
to the wall?
to your wall. Show your
Okay,
wall.
just if you go right, you're on. Okay, go to the air conditioner with the arrow. Okay, that's the wall. You're on the wall.
Okay. And where does your wall end?
Well, I can't tell from that shot where it ends. There's an office that leads to the main house.
Okay. But that is the wall that is the outside of your room, sir?
Yes, it is.
Could that be 68B? 68B1.
Noted.
A1.
Excuse me, People's 68A1. Thank you.
Now that wall, sir, that the arrow is pointing to, is that wall the outside of the wall that your bed would be placed against?
Yes.
Now, we were talking earlier about the window that's inside the bathroom of your residence. Can you see out, when you look out that window, sir, are you able to see the area that would be to the right of the air conditioner of the south pathway?
Not really.
How much of a view of the south pathway can you get from that bathroom window?
You can see out just in front of you.
So you can't see to the right or the left?
Well, I guess if you wanted to like stick your head or something out, but the window itself you can't. It's
I'm sorry?
a turn crank handle, and the window goes like that. So you can't if it turns, you can't really see to the right because it blocks things.
Okay. So the window opens out from left to right?
Yeah, it does.
And can you crank it all the way to the right so that it would go flush against the
I don't
house?
think so. I don't think you can.
While you were talking to Rachel on the phone, where were you in your room?
I was leaning against the bed.
Okay. Look at your monitor, sir. When you say you were leaning against the bed,
Okay, you see the bed?
yes,
There's the headboard.
yes.
Okay, right there, kind of. So take the arrow, go straight ahead. Right there.
Was your back up
Ma-
against that headboard?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Clark, do you have much more with this exhibit? I need to change court reporters.
I think I do. So,
All right,
could this be marked People's 129B1, Your Honor?
129B1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our morning recess. Please remember my admonitions to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case. Don't allow anybody to communicate with you. Do not conduct any deliberations till the matter has been submitted to you. Mr. Kaelin, this is a 15-minute recess. You're ordered to return in 15 minutes. All right, we'll stand in recess. Thank you. Are you going to stay with us?
No, I just need 1 second for this card. Roman Gioza.
No, the sheriff is overcrowded these days. How's your water supply? Good. All right, we ready? All right, David McNair, let's have the jurors, please. Well, Mr. Brian Kaelin is on the witness stand under direct examination by Ms. Clark. Good morning again, Mr. Kaelin.
Morning.
You're reminded you're still under oath, sir. Ms. Clark, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, you indicated that you placed a phone call to Rachel Ferrara at about 10:10 p.m.,
Yes.
and that during that phone call, you were seated on the bed with your back up against that headboard.
Yes.
During that phone call, sir, did something unusual occur?
Yes.
And what was that?
I heard a thumping noise.
How many thumps did you hear?
Objection. Reading.
Overruled.
Yes.
3.
Can you demonstrate for us how loud it was?
Somewhat, yes.
Go ahead.
Here.
Yeah, go ahead. And where did that noise seem to be coming from?
From the back of the wall.
From behind you, where
From-
you were sitting?
Right, from behind the wall, from where I was sitting.
Did you notice anything occur in your room as a result of those thumps on the wall?
Yes.
What?
There's a picture that moved.
And where is that picture, sir?
It's not in the shot.
Can you tell us, give us some idea?
Do you want me the arrow to move?
No, that arrow can stay there.
Okay, it would be, see this next to the bed, the dresser?
Yes.
If you'd go straight above it, by the headboard, it's right above that, on the,
All right, let me show a photograph to counsel for a moment. I have a photograph that's shown to counsel next in order, Peoples 140.
Peoples 140.
Showing you People's 140, sir. Can you please look at your monitor?
yes.
Can you tell us if you see the location where the picture was?
Yeah, the picture's right there. It's,
Was that the picture that was on your wall on the night of June the 12th?
I think that's the same picture.
And was it in that location?
Yes.
Okay, and for the record, the witness is gesturing there's only one picture on his bedroom wall.
Correct.
And what happened with that picture when the thumps occurred?
The picture tilted from, would be right to left. That,
The picture moved?
yes, it did.
At that point that you heard the thumps on the wall, sir, approximately how long had you been on the phone with Rachel Ferrara?
About a half hour.
And so approximately what time was it when you heard the thumps on the wall?
At about 10:40.
Is that exact? 10:40?
Well, what I remember, I didn't look at the clock, but around 10:40.
Do you recall previously testifying that it was 10:40 to 10:45?
Yes.
And is that correct?
Yes.
So at approximately 10:40 to 10:45, excuse me, sir, when you heard the thumps and you saw the picture move, what did you do?
Well, I was on the phone still, and I was talking to Rachel, and I said to Rachel, I asked her, I said, do we just have an earthquake?
Do those thumps alarm you, sir?
After she said we didn't have one, yes.
And why were you alarmed?
Well, if it wasn't that, then I thought there was, someone back there.
Someone back there, and where would there be?
There's behind the wall, on the
And-
path that we showed before.
And that path that we've shown before, that's the south pathway that runs along the outside of your exterior wall?
Yes.
Is that the pathway you're referring to?
Yes, it is.
That you thought someone was on when you heard the thumps?
Yes.
Now, if you would, sir, I'll go back to the interior. See the air conditioner you've earlier identified, sir?
Yes, I do.
At the back of the one that goes into your room? Showing you people's 129B. Can you tell us where on this photograph your air conditioner is?
Right in front of that lamp, on the right side of the bed.
For the record, the witness is pointing to a standing lamp that would be, as you face the bed, to the left side of the bed, and it's that grated area right above the lamp.
Yes, it is.
Where in relationship to that air conditioner did you hear the sound of the thumps?
The thumps came from behind the wall. Exactly where, I don't know, but I know it was behind the wall, within a few feet of the air conditioner.
Okay. And is that is that wall covering? Is that wood paneling or is that wallpaper?
That's wood.
All right. When Rachel told you that it was not an earthquake, you became alarmed, thinking someone was back there. What happened next?
Well, I was on the phone with her and I told her that I was going to check on it.
And how long did you speak to her after you heard the thumps on the wall?
2 to 3 minutes.
And when you said you were going to go and check on it, what did you intend to do?
Well, see the dresser right there next to the bed? On the top drawer, I have like a little flashlight. I was going to take that light and look behind there.
Look behind
Behind
where?
to the path.
Okay. The path that you've earlier identified?
Yes.
How did you feel about going back there onto that little pathway?
Scared?
Why?
Because there could be someone back there, and I just had a little flashlight.
Okay. And what was that pathway like?
Oh, it's dark, and there's leaves. It's very narrow.
How well lit it was? You said it was dark?
Yes.
And what was the size of that flashlight you had?
This size. It was a little, thicker around, but it was about that same length.
Okay. For the record, the witness is holding up a pen.
Yes.
All right. You did not go to look through the bathroom window.
No.
Your intention was to go around to that south pathway?
Yes.
Did it even occur to you to look through the bathroom window?
Well,
You can answer.
no, it never did.
All right. So you told Rachel that you were going to go back there and check out the noise.
Yes.
And what did you do next?
Okay, I hung up the phone, and I got the flashlight, and I walked the pathway, the front pathway, out of my front door to the driveway.
Okay. Now, when you went to the driveway, you said you took a pathway, and that pathway led you through what?
You go by the pool, and when you go by the pool, you go to the side of the house, the side that would face Ashford, and then you go and you hit the driveway.
I'm going to ask you to indicate on People 66 the path that you took
Okay.
from your room after you heard the thumps.
All right, you can step down, Mr. Kaelin.
All right. If you would, please, on People 66, please indicate the path that you took.
Okay. I came out of the doors. There's the steps up. There. And this is the path.
For the record, the witness is tracing the pathway that goes through the lawn area along Ashford Street.
Yes, now to the driveway.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, you indicated that you heard the thumps at 9:40 to 9:45.
Not at that time, it was 10.
I'm sorry, 10:40 to 10:45. Thank you, sir. And you remained on the phone with Rachel Ferrara for another 2 to 3 minutes?
Yes.
So approximately what time was it that you exited your room to go out to the pathway?
So it was about 2 or 3 minutes after that time, 10:43, 10:44.
And when you went out to the pathway, where you went out on the lawn area?
Yeah, but I stayed on this path.
All right. And what did you see when you were on that path?
On this path?
Yes.
Nothing. I didn't see anything until I got to the driveway.
When you got to the driveway area where the path meets the driveway?
Yes.
What did you see?
I saw a limousine.
And where was that limousine?
It was right behind the gate on Ashford.
Was it facing into that Ashford gate?
Yes.
Could you see whether anyone was inside it?
No.
Did you go to open the gate for the limousine driver?
No.
You can take your seat from here. Now, can you tell us, sir, whether...
Excuse me, Ms. Clark, do we need the poster?
Yes, we're going to use it again, very shortly.
Okay.
Now, can you tell us, sir, whether or not the headlights of that limousine were on?
I don't think they were on.
So was it dark in that area?
Yes.
And can you tell us, sir, whether the driveway was dark?
Yes, there's just there's little lights barely that are very dim. I think 1 or 2 of those are on by the driveway, but dark.
Where on the driveway are those lights? You can show us if you...
I think I remember they were like here, maybe one here.
Okay. You want to do that one more time so
Sure.
council can see you?
I think I remember that there was like here, the left light, here, maybe there.
For the record, the witness has pointed to the edge of the driveway. That would be the left border of the driveway, just below the tree over which is written gate control box, and then below that, to the left of the other tree, on that same edge of the driveway, the left edge. And, go ahead, you can sit down. So you indicated those are dim lights,
Yes.
and the driveway was basically in darkness?
Yes.
And you indicated you did not let the limousine driver in.
No.
Why not?
I thought everything was taken care of. I didn't think of letting him in because he could get a buzz in.
What do you mean you thought it was taken care of?
Well, I have my phone doesn't ring to the gate, so I thought if anything the limo guy would know what to do, what was going on. I didn't know. I thought he was there.
Did you think the defendant was going to let him in?
Yes.
Sustained, curiously disregard.
I'm asking for his state of mind, Your Honor, as to
I
why he
understand.
didn't.
Calls for speculation. Did he think that this defendant was going to do something? That's calling for speculation. Proceed.
Can you explain to us why you did not let the limo driver in? What were you thinking about, what led you
What-
not to let him in?
Because I thought someone had talked to him, and that's why he was out there. There's a reason that he was waiting there. I didn't, I didn't know why he wasn't in, but I didn't question it.
Did you expect, what were you expecting?
Goes to his subsequent conduct. What would- You can answer the question.
Oh, there's a phone, so if there was a limo driver, the gate would open up. He'd be buzzed in.
Did you think the defendant was home?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Calls for speculation.
Overruled. Did you
Answer?
think-
Yes.
Next question.
Now, approximately what time was it when you think you saw the limo driver? No, excuse me, the limousine parked at the Ashford gate?
About 10:50.
Okay. When you passed by the back of the house to go out onto that lawn area and take that path down to the driveway, did you notice whether there were any lights on in the house?
I thought the lights were on upstairs and not down, if I remember.
Did it seem to be dark downstairs?
Yes.
And you
From what
thought
my recollection, it was dark.
And you thought there was a light on upstairs?
Yes.
Let me back up for a minute. You indicated that you heard the thumps on the wall at approximately 10:40 to 10:45. Before hearing the thumps, you were talking on the phone to Rachel?
Yes.
After hearing the thumps, were you still talking on the phone to Rachel?
Yes.
Were you listening to hear footsteps at either time?
I did not.
Do you know whether you're able to hear footsteps from inside your room if someone's walking on the south pathway?
I don't. I don't think so.
When you
Do we need 66 anymore?
We do, right now.
All right.
You saw the limousine parked at the Ashford gate.
Yes, I
You
did.
did not let the limo driver in. Where did you go? What did you do?
I checked on the noise.
Can you show us on this
Come
People
down.
66 what you did?
Okay, so I had the flashlight, and Jim was here, so I started walking this way, and I had the light on, and I went. There's a gate here. I can pick up the gate. You can pick it up. It's not working. So I kind of leaned it against the tree, and I went down just a bit, and the pen light, the light was pretty dim. I looked a little bit, and then I came back.
Okay. For the record, the witness has indicated he walked south on the driveway over to the garage area, made a left at the corner of the garage, and walked in on that south pathway a short distance.
Yes.
Okay, as far as you got on that south pathway, sir, were you able to see the area, the ground area around the air conditioner in your room? And why did you stop on the pathway where you did?
Just did. I couldn't see. I just stopped.
Why?
I was scared, but that's it.
You were scared?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you backed out again?
Yes, I did.
Where did you go then?
I went back out,
Okay.
and the limo was still there. I thought maybe I should let this guy in. So I went to the gate control box. There's a button, pressed, and it opens up.
So you walked down the driveway, around the garage to the south pathway, came back out, walked back up the driveway, and the limousine was still outside the Ashford gate.
Yes.
When you said you went to the gate control box, you pointed to an area on the diagram, People 66. Is that where it's indicated by that tree?
Yes.
And then did the gate open?
Yes, it did.
And what happened next?
Okay, the gate opened, and he drove in, and there's a dog. Told him to watch it. And Chachi, the dog, went here, and the limo driver parked here.
All right, Chachi the dog, who's that?
Chachi's a chow,
What color?
black,
And who does he belong to?
to OJ.
And when the limo driver pulled up, where was Chachi?
Chachi was kind of, it was like laying right here, sort of by the box that he could have been hit. So I said, Chachi, move.
So when the limo driver pulled in, Chachi was still lying there on the driveway by the gate control box?
Yes.
And you had to get him to move?
Yes.
Did he bark?
No.
Did he get excited?
No.
Where did you put him?
Well, he goes in the spot he lays here.
And for the record, the witness is indicating the corner where of grass where the driveway meets the path going through the Ashford side of the lawn. And where did the limo driver go?
Right here.
To the front door area?
Yes.
Okay. For the record, the witness is pointing to the area of the driveway in front of the entrance. And what happened next?
Okay. The limo driver got out of the car. I'm pretty sure I said hello. And the exact dialogue, I don't know. It was.
Okay, wait, why don't you take your seat, sir?
All right, Ms. Clark, do we need 66?
We will again, but I'll take it down for now.
All right. If you want to just leave it there down so that I can see the jury and counsel can see.
All right, when you went around the, when you went around the south pathway, what was the, you said you went down the driveway, around the garage to that south pathway. Why did you do that?
Why did I do it?
Yeah,
I was going to investigate that noise.
the thumps?
Yes.
All right, when the limo driver got out of the car, did you have a conversation with him?
Yes.
What did you say?
Well, I know I asked him about the if we had an earthquake, and he said no, not that I'm aware of. I've been sitting there, and I didn't feel anything move. And he had mentioned that he was coming up from Redondo, and I don't know if what I remember about. If I mentioned about oversleeping or not, I said, did OJ oversleep, or if he said it, that he overslept, but that came up. And I said, oh, he's got a flight to catch.
Okay.
And
You were worried that he was going to be late or what?
yeah, they was going to miss a flight.
Okay. Now, at that particular point in time, what were you thinking about in terms of the thumps? Was that still in your mind?
Oh, yes.
How were you feeling about that?
Well, I was going to check on it again, and I felt better that there was someone there.
Mm-hmm. Were you still afraid or nervous or excited about that?
Yes, it was still there, but, driver was there. I mean, I was telling him about the noise, that I was going to check on it again. I told him I heard this noise, and I heard this thump, and I'm going to just go back there and check again.
All right. And so after you told him about that, what did you do?
Well, I know that at one point also the golf bag was out in the front. I loaded that for him in the trunk, and then I think I checked on the noise.
When you say there was a golf bag out front, where was it?
The driveway where he parked,
Mm-hmm.
right in front of the entrance. I don't want to lift it up again, but it's right in front. I'll point it out.
Was it in front of the front door?
In front, about 10 feet in front of the front door, right before the driveway would start up again.
Where the driveway meets the...
Where the grass and the entrance of the... I'll have to point it.
Go ahead.
The driveway here, there's like seats here.
Right.
Be right here.
All right. In between the seats?
In between the seats, right, laying the same way the line is
Okay, so what did you do with those golf bags after you let the limo driver in?
lying. Well, there's one golf bag.
One golf bag.
And I put it in the trunk of the limo.
All right. And then what did you do?
And then I think I checked on that noise.
And could you show us where you went?
Okay, I went from here again.
Okay, witness is indicating south on the driveway.
South of the driveway, and I said, I told him about the noise. I said, and then I tried to get Chachi to come with me. And I said, Chachi, come. And he didn't. So, that was my reaction too. So I went back there.
Okay. And you went down by the garage to the same area again? Is that yes?
Yes, but I went a little further.
Okay. Can you show us, sir, how far you went this time?
Okay, so the first gate is here.
Indicating,
Kind of right here. There's a tree that leans up against sort of, and it's right there.
okay, there's a portion on this diagram where the garage on the south side of it is extended when you first hit the garage area, and the witness is indicating the corner, the leftmost, the rightmost corner of that outcropping.
Right.
Okay, is that where the first gate is?
That's the first gate.
Okay, did you go through it?
Yes. This time I went a little bit further, and there's a second gate, but I didn't go beyond that.
You went up to the second gate?
I went up to about where the podium is, the second gate with the flashlight.
Okay.
About
You-
3 feet from the second gate.
3 feet behind the second gate, you stopped?
Yes.
And where would that be on the diagram?
Well, is this the entire garage, and this is the... I guess the second gate would be about here.
For the record, the witness is indicating the area where the middle yellow arrow is. Okay, and
Slightly
you,
to the left.
yes, it'd be to the, as you face the diagram, to the right of the arrow marked BK. And you stopped 3 feet before that?
Yeah, about 3 feet in front of it,
Okay.
and shined the light.
And what were you able to see?
Well, it was dark. I really didn't see much. The beam was, I could see up to about Mr. Cochran is right there.
Okay, for the record, the witness is indicating 10 feet. Maybe him, 8?
It's less than 10 feet, but yeah.
8?
Seven,
You like
seven,
it?
that's 7 feet. That's
Can we compromise?
compromise
Eight?
on this, 7, 8 feet.
Okay. For the record, the witness has indicated approximately 7 to 8 feet in distance.
Right.
And so were you able to see the area of the walkway that was right behind your room?
No.
Was that in darkness?
Yes.
And you stopped at that point?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Well, I figured I'd just give up. I didn't want to investigate anymore.
Why not?
I did. I don't know. I wasn't really. I was scared, but not scared. And the limo driver was there, and I just ended up going back.
Were you still afraid of what might be back there?
Well, I wanted to still know what was back there. I was going to investigate more, but I stopped there, and I was kind of like this lousy flashlight, and my mind was going to see if we had a better flashlight.
Okay.
And I was going to go up to the driver to talk to him.
So did you turn back at that point?
I did.
Where did you go?
Back to the front. Back, turn around to the front of the driveway.
And you went where?
I went to the limo.
Now, on your way back to the limo, did anything draw your attention?
Yes.
What?
I saw that there was like a knapsack that was in the driveway where the Rolls Royce was parked.
Can you show us where you saw that?
Well, this is the spot of the Rolls Royce.
For the record, the witness has indicated the southernmost portion of the driveway that leads out to Rockingham, where there's an indentation.
Yes.
That's where the Rolls Royce would be parked?
That's where the park, yeah, he parked right here.
And where did you see this knapsack?
It was on the right back tail light on the bottom, right where the grass kind of would start up.
I don't think the jury's able to see. Okay. Could you indicate again where you saw that knapsack?
It was kind of like right here on the grass and cement and the driveway.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask, can we get those arrows?
I got arrows and I got dots. What would you like?
How about a dot?
What color dot?
What color was the knapsack, sir?
I thought it was black and with brown leather to it.
Best I can do is
Nap.
blue.
Oh, well.
But
I'll take red. Thank you.
Take them all.
Why don't you put the dot on the diagram where you recall seeing the knapsack?
this diagram it would be like right there.
Was it actually, sir, on the driveway rather than the grass?
Yeah. Now, with this drawing, it was closer. Here's the Rolls Royce, and the light would be out, but it was sticking out. With this drawing, it's kind of, I don't know if it's exact, but it was out on the grass part of it, but more on the cement.
And how big was that knapsack?
It was like a college knapsack, I thought.
Like the size of a book bag?
A little, kind of like that. The briefcase or whatever that case is there.
I don't want to mark the detective's bag, but show the jury, so. Does it seem to be about the size of this bag?
Yeah.
Okay, let's describe this bag. Appears to be about 1.5 feet in length and about 1 foot high. It's black and has black straps. But it seemed to be about, did it look
wasn't
like
that design, but that size.
But that size.
That's what I remember.
Had you ever seen that bag before?
No.
And then where did you go, sir?
Okay, then I went back I was here with the driver, and OJ was outside too, and so I told him about the noise also.
Okay, why don't you take your seat, sir?
Ms. Clark.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let me ask you something, sir. Have you ever heard Chachi bark?
I've heard him bark.
And when?
When the date?
No? What was the event? You circled it on your calendar or what?
I think when Kato, the other dog, not this dog, no, Kato, the other dog, was over, if they play and Kato would start biting him and go, "Arr," and do that.
Did you ever see him bark at strangers?
I didn't see too many strangers there, so he pretty much was friendly.
Okay. Now, when you say Kato, the other dog, who are you referring to?
It's Akita, an Akita dog.
Belonging to?
To OJ, the kids.
And do you know whether the Akita named Kato went to live with Nicole at some point?
Yeah, it was living over on Bundy, and it would come over also. It was sometimes there, but mostly on Bundy.
Did it come over by itself to Rockingham, or did Nicole bring it?
It drove. No, it would come over with Nicole, the kids, and it would be over there sometimes, but mostly on Bundy.
Okay, that second gate that you indicated on the south pathway, sir, is that ever kept locked?
The second gate in the back?
Right, on that south
No.
pathway.
No. Not that I remember. It was
So
open.
if you'd wanted to go through it that night, could you have opened it?
Yes.
And why was it that you were willing to go back a second time to that south pathway?
I guess just a little bit safer, knowing there's a limo driver, and I just did it. I just went back there. I thought I was being, doing a good thing if I found a prowler or something.
You indicated that the Akita named Kato belonged to the defendant.
I don't know who it belonged to. I think it was like Nicole's, the kids, and OJ's.
Who bought it?
I don't know who bought it. I think maybe OJ bought it.
Okay. Did it stay at Rockingham sometimes?
Yes.
Did you see the defendant play with that dog?
Yeah, sometimes.
How often would you see it at Rockingham?
Not very often, but it was there, but more at the Bundy with Sydney and Justin. So I mean, it's hard to put a time frame. I mean, I don't know exactly how much the difference in time would be.
But you saw it at Rockingham and
It had been at Rockingham sometimes.
with the children?
Yes, the children played, and sometimes it was there when the children weren't there too.
And that dog, when the children spent the night at Rockingham, did it spend the night also?
Yeah, I'd say sometimes, yeah.
All right, that knapsack that you indicated you saw, that you thought was black,
It was black, and I thought I remember seeing like a little brown leather patch.
okay. Was that bag, that knapsack, was it in a lit area, brightly lit, or was it in a dark area?
It was, I think it was near one of the dimmer lights, I thought, but it was still in a dark area. It was dark on that, it was at nighttime, so. But it was a dark color.
Now, when you first came out that pathway, for the first time, when you left your room for the first time to go and investigate the source of the thumps,
Yes.
you came out on the Ashford side lawn, what were you thinking?
The first time coming out of the room and getting to, the first time coming through Ashford and then seeing the limo,
Mm-hmm.
what was I thinking as far as the noise?
Right.
I thought it could be someone.
Okay. And was your mind occupied with that?
Yes.
Were you looking down the driveway area when you saw the limo? Did you look down the driveway area
I probably did.
constantly, or did at some point you look at the limo? Did you look around you?
Oh, yeah, I looked around.
Excuse me, Ms. Clark, are we going to need this diagram again?
Yes.
I heard the comment. And I heard the other comments as well. All right, why don't we move that until you're going to need it? It's blocking council's view of the jury. I think you can leave that there. Yeah.
All right, when you got back to the car after going out the second time to the south pathway, you said you went back towards the limo.
Can you say the question again?
After you let the limo driver into the property, you had conversation with him, you indicated you went back around the garage to the south pathway again,
Yes.
and you stopped 3 feet before the second gate.
About,
Recall
yes.
that? And then you said you walked back out around the garage, you saw that dark knapsack. Then what did you do?
Well, there's three of us outside now. So
You saw the defendant?
okay, so all three of us, yes, OJ, myself, and the driver.
Where was he?
Just like outside on the driveway.
Okay.
And I think the door was open. The front door I thought was open.
Okay. Did you have a conversation with the defendant when you saw him there?
Yes.
What did you say?
Well, I was telling him about this noise I heard. I said, OJ, I heard this noise, and I thought it was an earthquake, and I thought maybe someone's back there, and I told him I was going to investigate it, and I had a lousy flashlight.
And then what?
And so I asked the limo driver, I said, do you have a better flashlight? And he checked, and he looked around, he didn't. And then I said, OJ, do we have a better flashlight? And when I told him about the noise, he was going to take one way, I was going to go another way. But that's when I said, well, this is a lousy flashlight, we need another one. And so he was going to go inside and check.
And then what happened next?
Okay, so went inside the house, I followed behind, and got towards the kitchen area, and I was kind of in the front door entrance behind him, but not yet in the kitchen. And it was I didn't look, but he said it was that late, so we didn't have time, and we didn't get the flashlight, so he had to catch the flight.
Now, at some point, after you came back from your second trip to the South Pathway, after that point, did you help to load bags into the car?
Yeah, I put the golf bag in already, and I was going to go get the knapsack to put in.
Okay, you said the knapsack. Is that the dark knapsack that you saw on the driveway area where you indicated the red dot behind the Rolls Royce?
Yes.
And did you say something to Mr. Simpson about that dark knapsack?
That I was going to get it.
You offered to get it?
Yeah.
And what was his response?
He'll get it.
What did he say?
I'll get it.
And then what did he do?
I didn't pay attention. I think he got it.
Did he walk in that direction?
Yes.
In the direction of where the knapsack was?
Yes.
All right, what happened next? After you offered to get the knapsack, he refused, walked towards it. What did you do?
Sustained. Rephrase the question, please.
Disregard
Rephrase the
what?
question,
You saw the defendant walk towards the knapsack. What did you do?
Okay, I was still concerned about a flashlight. I think that's when the conversation of the flashlight came in. And at the limo driver was looking, and I was seeing if he's finding a flashlight.
Then what?
Okay, and then that's when I was going to have myself and OJ look behind there, and then he had to catch his flight. So I mentioned about the kitchen.
Did you at some point walk into the house with the defendant?
Yes,
And at what point was that?
right before leaving.
And
the-
for what purpose did you walk into the house with him?
Because we were in search of a flashlight.
Where did you go inside the house?
I walked in the front entrance, and when you walk in about 5 feet or so, you can make a right and go into the kitchen. So I got in as far as like a foot maybe in the kitchen. He was in the kitchen, and
You were in the kitchen, and where was the defendant?
well, I had a foot. I was kind of in the hallway still, kitchen, and he was about 6 or 7 feet in front.
He was inside the kitchen?
Yes.
What happened next?
He noticed the time and had to catch the flight.
What did he say?
Is that the time? I said, you got to catch your flight.
And then what?
He got in the limo. And, went back out of the kitchen, back, and was going to hop in the limo to the airport.
Okay. When you walked into the house with him, did you walk through the foyer area?
Into the foyer. Yes, that's where I stayed. Maybe I wasn't in the kitchen area. You know the area. It's there, and I stopped, and then he turned around because we didn't have time, and then he had to catch the flight.
Okay, did you pause and talk to him in the foyer area for a moment?
Yes.
And when you paused and talked to him in the foyer area of the house, what were you talking about?
He was leaving, and there's an alarm, and he was asking me to set the alarm.
Had he ever asked you to set the alarm for him before?
No.
Did you know the code to set the alarm?
No.
Did you want to set the alarm?
No.
Why not?
It's just another responsibility that I didn't want to know the alarm code.
And what did you say when he asked you to set the alarm?
I don't know the code.
And what was the defendant's response?
I think he was going to set it. He was going to set the alarm.
Did he tell you that? Or
Yeah, I think it was that he would said I was kind of understanding because I didn't get the code. But I didn't pay attention as far as if he said it or not.
and you had that conversation while you were standing with him in the foyer?
In the foyer, yes.
And did you happen to notice whether he's had any injury to either hand at that time?
I didn't notice. No,
You did not notice?
did not.
People's 112, Your Honor. Showing you People's 112, sir. Can you tell us if you recognize that location?
That's the foyer.
And that's the area where you stood and talked to him about the alarm
Yeah.
control?
Yes,
And you did not notice any injury to his hand?
I did not.
Overruled.
After you had the conversation about the alarm control panel, what happened next?
He got in the limo to catch the flight.
Approximately what time was it when he did that?
I thought it was like 11:15.
Can you, sir, estimate for us about how much time you spent with the defendant after the limo driver arrived?
After the limo driver arrived, when I first saw him,
Right, from the time you first saw him to the time he left for the airport.
I think it was about 5 minutes.
And through which gate did the limo driver exit?
Rockingham.
And how did he get out?
There's a button. I pressed it for him, and it opens the gate.
Where is that button located, sir?
It would be, it's on the driveway. There's to the left, there's a button that you can press. I mean, I can show you.
On the diagram?
I can just point it right here from here.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll hold it up and do that.
There's it's right there.
And for the record, the witness is pointing to the location that is designated on the diagram as gate control box on the Rockingham gate side.
Yes.
Can you tell us, sir, when that gate closes, does it lock automatically?
Pretty sure it locks, yes.
Okay. I'm talking about the Rockingham gate.
Yes.
How do you get in from the outside?
Of the Rockingham gate,
Yes.
you can use a key.
And did you have that key?
Yes.
As for the Ashford gate, can you tell us how that gate operated?
There's an intercom that can be buzzed in from inside. And there's also a hinge that you can open it up automatically by, if you adjust the hinge the right way, you can push it open and get in.
Okay. So can you get in through the Ashford Street side without a key?
Yes.
Can you get in through the Ashford Street gate without somebody buzzing you in?
Yes.
All right, after the defendant left in the limo, what did you do? You said, I think you indicated did you push the button
gate
on the
control.
gate to close it?
Yes, I did.
On the Rockingham gate?
Yes.
What happened next?
So, gate open, waved goodbye, and they drove off. And then I started going back towards my room. And then I saw the red light, or it was a green light on the alarm that it wasn't set.
Where did
So-
you see that?
There's a alarm box, where you set the code. And
Where?
it's in the front door, by the front door.
Outside?
Yeah, outside.
Next to the front door, on the outside of the front door?
To the left.
And that light was green. What did that mean
Yeah.
to you?
That it was open.
That the alarm was not on?
Yes.
And what did you do about that?
Nothing. I went back to my room.
How did you go back to your room? Did you go through the house?
No, I went to the pathway, same way that I came out from.
Why did